Hello and welcome to Walk the Pod, your daily walking show. Well, I take my podcast for a walk because I don't have a dog. You're very welcome along. This is episode 8, series 55. We are discussing courage this month. And today, the courage to live in the present. I don't know about you, but I spend quite a lot of my mental time thinking about things that happened in the past, speculating about things that might happen in the future. And when we are in the habit of doing this, it is quite difficult to actually exist in the present moment. And this is why we pay attention to what's directly in front of us, to be fair. But even while we're paying attention to what's directly in front of us, we can be a little bit detached from it. So I hope this podcast is a way to be in the present. Perhaps it can be a regular reminder to snap into the present and pull away from thinking about things that have already happened or ones that might happen. And a few little tips and techniques on that today. Welcome to Walk the Pod. I do wonder, first of all, whether I am alone in this mental absence that is so easy to slip into. We can go hours, days, without even spending a single second in the present moment, it seems to me, although it might just be me. So I'd be interested to know whether you share this feeling. I spent a bit of time over the last couple of years consciously snapping myself back into being in the present moment. That has been a bit of a theme of mental health programs over the last few years. There seems to be a bit more focus on it in the media, being in the now. I read Eckhart Tolle's book, The Moment Is Now, a few years ago, and found it sort of, I don't know, difficult to do, because humans are planners. We absolutely are planners. We're also ruminators. We love rehashing things that have already happened and working out why we had this particular type of conversation with this person. What's going on there? Was it them? Was it us? How is this going? Will I ever get to do this thing I want to do? Why have I not had opportunities to do particular things? And so on and so forth. My conversations with other people indicate that other people have this just as much as I do. But I just don't know. It's difficult to know how it is to be anyone else, isn't it? So if you have noticed that you spend time mentally in the past or the future and never so much the present, please let me know. I'd love to know. You can go to walkthepod.com and leave me a voice note, and you can always say on your voice note, this is not for broadcast rates, just for information, or you can email walkthepod@gmail.com. Possibly it is a much more animalistic thing to be in the present moment, and if we are just thinking, where am I going to get my next Kit Kat from, or sandwich from, or bottle of water from, and we exist a little bit more like avatars in the Sims computer game, where we just have a little bubble above our head going, oh, I really need a sandwich, and that's where I'm going right now to find one, then perhaps we are living in the present. And I suppose it is possibly an indicator of intelligence to be able to think into the past or the future. So perhaps we should be grateful that we even have the capacity to do that. But, and depending on what role we do at work, there is much more of a pull towards the past or the future or the present in different roles. When I used to work for the BBC on live radio broadcasts, if I was thinking too far into the future, I likely miss the opportunity to press a button I should press right now. So that job, I think I lived in the present a little bit more successfully. The job I do at the moment, very much planning-based job. So I am, for work, thinking ahead all the time. And my struggle to understand the world means a lot of thinking through conversations and interpersonal things that have happened and trying to work out what went on there. And so I really have to remind myself to be in the present moment. And paying attention to what's directly in front of me is not just something that I talk about on this podcast, but it is a tried and tested mental health tip that if one is feeling anxious, for example, one of the things an integrative therapist might say to you is, is there anything that you can't cope with right now happening to you? Because a lot of anxiety is about fear of something happening later, and if there's nothing you can't cope with right now, maybe focus on the fact that you are coping right now. And so paying attention to what's directly in front of us is an opportunity to say, in front of me I see green grass, bare trees, sunlight, blue sky, and an apple core, and that reminds us that we are safe and that there's nothing happening that we can't cope with right now. We're just walking in the park. So the courage to be in the present moment is one that crops up in the book The Courage to Be Disliked. Even though the book's title suggests it's about making enemies, it absolutely isn't. It is a general sort of discussion about how to be human in the world. And one of the points that the philosophers are making in that is that it's very difficult to be in the present moment, and that we would do better to spend more time here. Your thoughts on this very welcome. walkthepod.com. Press the button marked leave a voice note for Walk the Pod, and you'll have 90 seconds to leave your beautiful voice via SpeakPipe. Be very grateful to you if you choose to do that today. Speaking of what I can see directly in front of me, well, I've told you some of it, but the golden Labrador that I love seeing in the park is here, along with their owner. I believe it is a sight dog, helps the owner to find their way around. There are lots of tots in the park because it is balmy, honestly, and if you don't know the word balmy, I don't mean mad. I don't know which country you're in or whether balmy is something that is a word that people use there, but it is warm. It's like a warm sunset kind of feeling today. The sun feels lower in the sky than perhaps it actually is. It's really warm. It's beautiful. In fact, some of the most lovely weather that we've had for a while. Would I go so far as to say the most beautiful day in the world? Yes, I would. Thank you for asking. So it's gorgeous today, and as I was pointing out on a quite recent episode, it's the time of year where when the sun comes out, when it is nice, it's suddenly really lovely as opposed to just freezing cold but with the sun shining, which is how it's been in previous weeks. So we're really getting to a spring-like, summer-like feel now, which couldn't come soon enough, honestly, having been walking through the winter all this time. The dog is now walking around behind me and I can hear its bell jangling. It's a very beautiful dog. Lots of pigeons ahead. Some clouds stretched across the sky. A few people eating their lunch. People wearing sunglasses. Somebody pointed out to me yesterday that wearing sunglasses is one of the most terrific things to do on a sunny day. Couldn't agree more. That and having an ice cream. Brilliant. So I must dig my sunglasses out so that I too can walk around the park wearing sunglasses all summer now. And it's just lovely. If you're going for a walk today, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for walking with me, dear friends. It's been a delight to stretch my legs with you this lunchtime. I hope the courage to be in the present moment has snapped you into the present moment. Try to remain in it for as long as you possibly can. And if you are having difficulty staying in the present moment, pay attention to what's directly in front of you more often. Name things. There's a stick, there's some mud. That can help. And do your best to be here now, as it were. Take care of your beautiful mind. yourselves and each other, and I'll be back with episode 9 tomorrow.